Okay, hi, this is Heather Havenwood and Be the Boss of Your Life. This is my first Hangout, Google Hangout right now, and we're, of course, trying to figure this all out. Um, so let's see. I have my producer with me, Lewis. Lewis, can you hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up that we are live and things are going well? Let's see. I can't hear him. So, okay, this is going to be a lot of fun. The cool thing about doing this is figuring out how it works and how it all kind of gets figured out. Again, this is my first live Google Hangout, and I sent this out to my email list as well as Facebook, and so I hope really that you guys have a lot of fun. Well, I'm going to talk to you about who I am and what I'm about. I'm Lewis. Lewis, can you hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up that we are live and things are going well? Oh, wait, hold on a second. Let's see. I'm getting feedback. Okay, hold on. I can't hear him. So, okay, this is going to be a lot of fun. The cool thing about doing... Okay, Oh, geez. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, here we go. Okay. This is my microphone, play sound. It's all working. Okay. So anyway, my name is Heather Havenwood, and I'm relaunching right now my brand. If you don't know who I am, my name is Heather Havenwood. I also am known as Sexy Boss. I have a book out named Sexy Boss, The Power of Women Entrepreneurship. You will also find that on Amazon anytime. Last October, I did an event with Joe Sugarman, Joe Polish, John Benson, with called Success Magnet Seminar. You can see here my background. I own the brand Sexy Boss, sexybossinc.com. And I also, I'm an entrepreneur, basically, like you guys are and everyone out there in today's world. But the other thing I do is I teach men how to date women. You can find my books online on Amazon. And I'm going to start doing these Google Hangouts once a week. That's the goal here, is to do a Google Hangout once a week with Hangout with Heather. Talk about entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur online for almost 12 years. Actually more than that now, almost 14 years. My first job without a job actually was in 2001 after 9/11. So I traveling the country doing seminars and real estate seminars and teaching people how to buy and sell houses back then. And now I help people start businesses online. I also teach people how to build businesses online, as well as do consulting and coaching on how to get their sales up. I'm really a sales and marketing coach, and I want to help people now do that. And I've been behind the scenes now for at least 7 or 8 years. And this last October was the first time I started to come out of the closet, what I call, and behind the scenes, and wanting to help entrepreneurs like you have more sales, better business, and become an amazing entrepreneur. And so this is me in my life. You're in my office, in my home. I have a company here, Be the Boss. Be the Boss is sexy. That's what I believe in. I believe that entrepreneurship is the way to go. It is the future. And no matter if you're in a corporate job or not, you've got to learn to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so we're just doing this first Google Hangout today. If you are here, thank you for being here. I hope someone's out there listening. Maybe you're not. That's okay. And my intention of this Google Hangout and these Hangouts now is to talk to you about not only my experience, but how I can help other people. But here's a few things that I'm doing right now. Is I'm doing a podcast starting called Be the Boss of Your Life podcast. You'll soon see that on iTunes. It's not launched yet, only because I'm building that up. I'm actually interviewing a lot of people for that. Joe Sugarman was my first person I interviewed for that. Doberman Dan, if you haven't heard of him, he's amazing. I'm going to have interviews by Susan Bratton, Marnie Kinritz, many other people, men and women, that are entrepreneurs, and I want you to hear their story, know their story, so that you can not only take your business to the next level, what I call NLS. NLS is what I call next level shit. How can you take your business to the next level? And I believe that you're as big as you see yourself to be. So I want to help you do that. In this broadcast, Lewis and I talked about what, by the way, Lewis is my producer, as well as my amazing content manager guy, as well as my social media guy, and hopefully Lewis, you're in the background listening. Hope you're there anyways, I think. And he's going to be helping me. No, I'm good. I'm not getting feedback, Lewis. I'm good. Okay, so I'm live. That's great. Thanks, Lewis. I appreciate that. So what we talked about is, what do you guys want? What do people want nowadays in entrepreneurship world? What is it that I can give to you and then help you serve you and help you guys get to what I call NLS, next level shit. And hopefully you're okay with me cussing. Is Google going to take me off if I cuss? I don't even know, probably, so I won't cuss too much. But next level shit is what I believe in, is how do you take your business to the next level? How do you take your life to the next level? How do you take your mind to the next level? And how do you take your world to the next level? And I think that's what we're here all about. So I'm live from Google Hangout. Today is July 1st. It's 2 p.m. My very first Google Hangout by myself, which is kind of weird. I'm usually talking to people or maybe having someone I'm interviewing, which will happen in the future. You're welcome to check out my website, heatherhavenwood.com. I'm also YouTube. It's youtube.com/HeatherHavenwood. You can also find successmagnetseminar.com and sexybossinc.com. And if you're a man who's single looking to how to date women, you can go to datingtriggers.com. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. So I want to show you this book. You've probably heard of this book. It's called Think and Grow Rich, but this one specifically is for women. Let me actually over here. Ooh, it's a light. Let's see. I'll notice that light. Okay, there it is. That's a good one. Think and Grow Rich for women. Well, right now I'm in a mastermind here in Austin, Texas, locally. Friends of mine, entrepreneurs, are all entrepreneurs, and we get together once a month, and we go over one chapter of Think and Grow Rich every month. So anyway, I really wanted to give you guys some content, something I'm learning, something I'm going through myself as a business person, as a businesswoman, and that is, it's actually my favorite chapter of Think and Grow Rich. It's chapter 7. It's called Sex Transmutation. That's the name of the book. It's the name of the chapter in Think and Grow Rich. A lot of people overlook this chapter because it doesn't make sense to them. And we did an entire, chapter 10, The Mystery of Sex Transmutation. And this last week, which when we get together once a month at a local entrepreneur's house here in Austin, Texas, we talked about the whole chapter for an hour and a half. A bunch of people, guys and girls, all business owners, entrepreneurs in their own right. And it was a fascinating conversation. Some married, some single, some not. And we had a really interesting conversation, and what I realized is how confusing it is. And this, of course, Think and Grow Rich was created back in 1937. So you have to kind of keep that in mind when you're reading it, okay? But this book I'm showing you here, this is Think and Grow Rich for Women, that's kind of rewritten in today's language by Sharon Lechter. She is a known author, and this was authorized by the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So this is kind of cool. She's kind of taken into the real world today, more gender specific. She did a good job, I think. So anyway, in here is a really interesting piece, and I kind of want to just read it to you. There's no reason to. I'll read it to you and kind of give my viewpoint, and hopefully you guys are coming on. Again, this is Heather Havenwood. This is my first Google Hangout, so if you can't hear me, if you're having problems, give us a chat. Hopefully Lewis will tell me, my producer, and we'll figure it out, because this is all new for me, okay? I'm a techie girl, but at the same time, you never know. You know what I mean? Okay, so I just kind of wanted to explain to you what sex transmutation is. And again, I'm reading from this book, Think and Grow Rich, by Napoleon Hill, but this one's specifically for women. So you can kind of get an understanding of what does sex transmutation mean today, and why is it so important is in your success in life. What does sex transmutation have to do with anything in life? This is what this just talks about. It's really about being a magnetic personality, is what I call sex transmutation, is being able to hone that quote-unquote sexuality. no matter what your gender is, no matter what what I call it, sex orientation is, lesbian, gay, straight, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's being able to hone that and be able to create success in what we call, and Napoleon Hill calls, sex transmutation. It's a transmutation of energy into something else. Okay, so I'm going to read off to you something, just to read it. Okay, he's Napoleon Hill, shares the following simple example of how someone's personal magnetism is an expression of sex energy. All right, so the first thing, there's 5. I'm just going to name off 5, okay? And one is the handshake. Now, I will say, to Alex Mandossian's credit, I do love you do your note card, so I probably will be doing that in the future because I think it's a great job, and I'm going to give kudos to Alex Mandossian for creating that, and I will be doing that next time. Okay, number 1, the handshake. The touch of the hand indicates instantly the personal magnetism or lack of it. Isn't that true? I mean, have you ever touched someone's hand, hey, nice to meet you, and it's like limp, or it's like really strong, or something weird like that? You can you immediately get this like shock, and you also get this immediate judgment. So if they shake your hand, it's kind of just like that, right? You're like, judgment. You totally judge them within that 1 second. Also, if you get a really hard handshake, you judge them right then. You completely have judged them on that. And subconsciously, consciously, you have completely judged who they are. Number 2, the tone of voice. Hopefully my tone of voice has a great magnetism to it. Magnetism or sex energy is the factor with which the voice can be colored or made musical or charming. I've done a little bit of voiceover work. I actually have my own book in voiceover. You can find it on Audible. And honestly, I can say it was one of the hardest things I ever did in my life. Very challenging to do a book as a voiceover, number 1, but also to do your own book and to make sure you do every single sentence and every and, the, and not actually bore people to death, right? To actually create energy in your voice and be reading your own story. It was very challenging. Took me 8 weeks to do it, and I would go into the studio 1 day a week for max an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on a good day, and I would go home and sleep. It was just that tiring to do it. So with that said, which I find fascinating, there was a girlfriend I met through this process. She's I would call a professional voiceover. That's what she does for a living, right? And great, beautiful voice. Her voice is just fantastic. And I never met her I never saw a picture of her. And we just talked on the phone and through Skype, through ears. And she said to me, what do you think I look like, right? I'm based on her voice. And I said, well, she's sweet, strong voice, beautiful. I pictured this dark-headed, like an Italian, strong, sexy, sensual, like a Catherine Zeta-Jones look, just very strong and sexy. And she sent me a picture of her. She's an African-American woman, and it just, like, nothing wrong with that, but it, like, blew what I thought she was. All based on the voice, I had this image of her. Like, it was like, this is what it's got to be like this. And her image was not that, like, quote unquote, her reality. And it blew me away. And she said, that's why I don't ever put my picture out there, because people will judge the picture before the voice. I want them to judge the voice, not the picture. I found that really fascinating, actually. But her magnetism and her sex energy and her voice was phenomenal. And that's what she sells. So she really focuses on that. Okay, number 3, posture and carriage of the body. Highly sex people move briskly and with grace and ease. I mean, the difference between, like this, right, versus here, obviously, is an obvious place to come from. You can see this a lot in politics, speakers, authors, anybody in front of the spotlight. Megyn Kelly, if you ever listen to this, I just want to let you know that I totally have a girl crush on you. I think Megyn Kelly is the bomb, chickadee bomb bomb. I would absolutely love to meet you in person. But she carries her body, carries herself beautifully. And I have a total woman crush on her. I just really know. I have a crush on you, Megyn Kelly, if you ever listen to this. Number 4 is the vibrations of thought. You've experienced this. I've experienced this. Highly sexed people mix the emotion of sex with their thoughts, or may do so at will, and in that way may influence those around them. Okay, so the vibration of thought. I'm sure if you ever walked into a party or an event or heck a restaurant and just been thinking negative things. You're thinking negatively about the day, or you're thinking negatively about that person that pissed you off or cut you off, or your boyfriend or your wife is pissing you off. You're thinking negative things versus walking in thinking positive, wonderful things, positive things that have happened to you, come from a place of gratitude. Things start to happen. New things start to happen. Things move towards you. You're magnetic versus unematic. Is that a word? Unmatic? Probably not, but I just made it up. Okay. Number 5, body adornment. Okay, I really like this one. I really feel that people that are highly sex transmutation or he calls it highly sexed, they take care of their body. No matter what, they take care of their body. And I think that's really an important thing nowadays, especially with where we're at with healthcare, is if you don't have this in your body and yourself and your spirit, then what do you have? Really, what do you have? You don't have much. And so I'll read to you what he says here. People who are highly sexed are usually very careful about their personal appearance, and they usually select style of clothing, becoming their personality, physique, and complexion. They focus on what they look like on the external because it's a direct reflection of how they feel internal. And I really honestly believe that. I actually honestly believe that to a whole nother level. I believe in your environment, your home, like where you live, your bed, simple things, is a direct correlation to how you feel. For me anyway, I remember when I was in college, Angela, by the way, if Angela ever sees this, I would just love for you to reach out. Her and I were college roommates at TCU, Texas Christian University. And, the room was like this really long and like that. And there was 2 sides of one bed here, one twin bed over here, and that was the whole dorm room. I mean, that was the whole thing. We had a desk, and then we had beds. I mean, that's the whole thing. And so the room was split down the middle, her side, my side, right? And we roomed together for, 4 semesters or something like that. And one time she said, I always know when you're stressed out. And I said, really? Have I been mean to you? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have been. I'm sorry. And she goes, no, your bed is like disaster. The bed's not made. Your clothes are all over your bed, your desk is a disaster. But when you're clear and you got things going on and you're calm and everything's fine, your bed's made, your clothes are put away, and your desk is completely perfect. And I was like, well, that's a direct correlation of what's going on in my head. When there's chaos and upset, then it's like an external correlation of what's going on inside. So nowadays in my life, I actually try to I actually make my bed every day, no matter how I feel. I clean my desk at the end of the day, no matter how I feel. Because when I have those things clean, then it will help what's going on inside. So I feel chaotic, I could make my bed, create things to happen, and I feel better. If I feel chaotic and I go work out, then I feel better inside. It's an all direct correlation. And that's what I feel sex transmutation is, or what I call magnet personality. Okay, well, honestly, that's what today's Google Hangout is, and I hope this will support you. I'm going to be doing more of these at least once a week. I'd like to do, interview people, anybody in the health niche, the fitness niche, the head niche, mind, body, spirit. If you're an author, speaker, or you have a product out there that you want to get out there in the world, I would love to talk to you. Also for my podcast, which is Be the Boss of Your Life. And what I mean by be the boss of your life, what I mean by that is be the boss of who you are, mind, body, and spirit. I have a tagline, be you, be real, be the boss of your life, and that means all of it. Your headspace, what you look like, feel like, is a direct correlation between what you feel like inside and the external. And I want to help you do that. But more importantly, I want you to help you make money, because there's a huge correlation to that too. When you feel confident of who you are, you make more money. And when you can, what I call transmute your sexual energy, then you are more magnetism. Salespeople need that. You are a salesperson, no matter what you do for business. Even if you're a policeman or a policewoman, you are still a salesperson. You really are still a salesperson because you want to be able to relate to people and communicate to people. I'm a big fan of Law and Order. I love Law and Order. I do. I love Law and Order. And the great detectives, right, are very charismatic because they're constantly having to ask questions and get people to reveal stuff and having to get them to connect with them. Sometimes they're in a really bad hostage situation and they have to connect with the hostage or understand how human behavior works so they can connect and draw out. That's sales. I mean, that's sales 101. That's persuasion. That's influence. And when you have a highly what I call sex transmutation person, they're able to hone that energy and be able to be magnetic to the world. That is huge. Okay. Now I have to say it's very weird just talking to a camera by myself. Lewis, we'll have to figure out how to get you like be my producer. I mean, I don't think even Jimmy Kimmel of Tonight Show, he still has like a sidekick he's talking to. It's kind of strange just talking to myself here. All right, well, I'll leave you with a few awesome quotes. I love quotes. I do. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Wisdom from women of success and significance on the mystery of sex transmutation. Sophia Loren. Wow. I mean, what a beautiful woman she was, right? Quote, I think the quality of sexiness comes from within. It is something that is in you or it isn't, and it really doesn't have much to do with breasts or thighs or the pout of your lips. I like that. That's really good. She's so beautiful and so sexy. I mean, just, she was amazing. That was by Sophia Loren. Audrey Hepburn. Here's a quote from Audrey Hepburn. There is more to sex appeal than just measurements. I don't need a bedroom to prove my womanliness. I can convey just as much sex appeal picking apples off a tree or standing in the rain. Of course, you're Audrey Hepburn. You're gorgeous and stunning. But she did have a very humanitarian piece of her. She was a fashion icon, an actress, and humanitarian. I say that right? You know, that to me is being a woman, but more importantly, being a sexy boss. That's what I call a sexy boss. And let's see. Coco Chanel. Perfect. This is so fashion-oriented. Dress badly, and people will notice the dress. Dress well, and people will notice you. That's so good. And I have to say that to all my Austinites. You know, I love Austin. It's my home. I belong here. But I will say, Austin. People don't like to look good here. I love it in a way because you could go to Whole Foods and go to the grocery store and you can be in your yoga outfit and look like crap and have a bun on your head and everyone thinks you look normal. If you look dressed up here, people look at you weird. If you're dressed in a three-piece suit, they know you're like a foreigner. I mean, it's like that here. You know, everyone looks like crap. That's why I tell people. Not crap like bad, but just, you know, it's just how it is. But everyone's fit here, which is great. I love being here. They take care of their body. Everyone's healthy here. They take care of Austin. Tons of trees. I mean, I'm surrounded by trees. It's beautiful, but it is so different. And I was in Dallas this last weekend for my birthday, and I saw the huge difference because in Dallas, everyone is all about looking good and beautiful and stuff like that. Let me say this, love. This is all my women out there. This is a quote here. Self-love and money starts with basic financial literacy. I mean, I honestly believe that when we as women love ourselves, and men too, but I'm just talking to the women here, when we love ourselves, when we self-love ourselves, that is when money begins to flow in, our abundance, or money, or whatever, how you want to call it. When things start to shift, when we self-love ourselves, then the world can self-love us. God can self-love us. And that's how I look at it. It is an abundance mentality. If we're coming from scarcity in life, if we're coming from that place of fear and scarcity, then no one can and things can't come towards us. And that's part of the personal magnetism. But it really all starts with self-love and abundance within ourselves. So with that said, abundance to all of you. Hopefully someone's listening, which is great. I know they will be. I sent this out to my entire email list as well as Facebook, but I only sent it an hour ago, so I apologize to each and every one of you. I don't have a big call to action. This is not a sales pitch. Over time, you'll find out I do personal one-on-one coaching. I do that. More than happy to contact me. And let's see, you can always contact me at admin@sexybossinc.com if you're interested in that. But honestly, really, these Google Hangouts and my podcast, Be the Boss of Your Life, I want to hear from you if you want to be interviewed. I would absolutely adore to interview you. If you have an idea, you want to start a business, you never started it, I'd love to bring you on and we do a little coaching session with you on how we can take your business to the next level. How can we start that business or start that venture? My expertise is in affiliate marketing, internet marketing. I have a master's in internet marketing. Actually, can believe it or not, I was one of the first schools at a Full Sail University to get my internet marketing master's, and I was the first class to go through an internet marketing class in 1999. I did my first business, basically how to build a business online and a business online back in '99. That's kind of crazy. But I did. That was my first thing. And my first business online was in 2004. Built it and went from $0 to $1 million in a year. So there you go. That's who I am, a little bit about me. Again, it's heatherhavenwood.com. Go check me out on YouTube, youtube.com/Heather Havenwood. Hang out with me in the future. We're probably going to do these on Tuesdays at 2 o'clock. And hopefully you'll have a good time. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening. This will be in my YouTube channel soon. And power out.